Now let's jump into the core of our application, and that has to do with dealing with lessons. Okay, it's the fun part. So I think I'm gonna have a lessons model. So PHP understand make model lesson, and I need a migration with this. Okay, let's view that. Create lessons table. And how do I want this to be? First of all, I want a lesson to belong to a series. So I'm just gonna add in an integer there that maps to series ID. But I want this to be optional, so it means I can have standalone lessons. Therefore, I'm going to make this nullable. Then I'm also going to say table string, and this is going to be the lesson title. And I'm also going to have a lesson description, which I'm going to make a text field. So description, and I should probably actually make sure the series description is also a text field. So I'm just going to replace this. Then another thing I want for my lesson is a playlist number. So I'm going to create an integer field, which is going to be playlist number, or we can actually name this episode number. Then finally, I want a reference of the video on Vimeo. So I'm going to say string, and this string is going to be the video ID. So video ID. Now we're going to be saving our lessons or our videos on Vimeo, and then we're going to store a reference to a video on our lessons table. So for example, if the ID on Vimeo was 22 something whatever, this is the number we're going to save here, and then in our front end we're going to grab a video with this ID and then present to our users. Then our episode number is simply going to help us know how to arrange our series. Then in our lesson.php, just so we don't have any annoying errors, we're going to make sure that this is not protected for mass assignment. Now, how do I want this to work? Remember when we started working on our series controller, the show method? Once the user actually arrives on this page, the show page, he's going to have a create whip update and delete functionality for lessons for that series. And obviously, for a better user experience, this should actually be without refreshing pages or stuff like that, right? So we're going to use Vue.js to make this really awesome. So before we get to that, let's just return a view from here. So return view, and this is simply going to be in the admin directory, and we have a series directory in there, then index. So resources, views, admin, series, index.blade.php. Okay, so if we check out our directory structure, there's our index.blade. I'm just going to duplicate what I have in the create, because I want almost the same header, and the content is very similar, but I'm just going to pull out the form. Yeah, we should probably send in the series data from our controller. So why don't we just pass in with series and pass in the series right here. Okay, so now we're passing the series, therefore we can use the series title right here. And this is going to be the page where we customize your series lessons. And there's going to be a lot of Vue.js going on in here. Okay, so let's try to visit that page. So admin series / this course, then it redirects us here. Then we have the course title, then customize your series lessons. Okay, so we're gonna actually switch to front end work in the very next video and start customizing our lessons right here.